There we go. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for being here. I absolutely appreciate it. For those who don't know, this is Rick. I run, manage, operate the Hit Run Candlesticks side of the business, trading room. And want to welcome everybody here every Monday at 11:45. I'm over here until Live Trading Alerts fires me to do a little webinar, talk about the scanner, charts, just about anything you want to talk about. We can certainly do that. Okay. So let's start by looking at the market. Let's take a look at the market. And right now that I'm going to have to be a little bit bullish on the market, okay, because we're moving up here. I base my bullishness on a couple of things. One is going to be price. Another is going to be the T-line, and another is going to be the trend indicator right there. And those are all stacked up like they should be. Sometimes I have the 3 EMA up here, and I would mention that as well. But if the price is up above the T-line, the 3 EMA is above the T-line. So price, trend indicator, price, T-line, trend indicator, or 3 EMA, T-line, trend indicator. If we take a look at the Qs, this is another one I pay attention to. You can see that is price, T-line, trend indicator. Let's take a peek at IWM because that seems to be a topic here recently. And right now, I'm a little bit bullish on IWM. Now, there's a couple of things I recognize. For instance, I recognize we have a top right here. Another thing that I recognize is we are flirting with head and shoulders up here, which is looked upon as bearish. But just because we have a head and shoulders doesn't mean we're going to be bearish. That's just one of the chart setups that a lot of people look at. When you get the signal to be bearish, then you can say, oh, look, I've got the bearish signal and I've got a head and shoulders. Right now, here, I'm going to clear all that. Yeah, I'll clear all that off. Right now, what I see, because the most important to me is going to be price action and the trend. And right now, the price action, you can see how we have this low to a high to a higher low, higher high, higher low. And then we went to a higher high, higher low. And we're in the process of trying to make a higher high or a lower low. We're just moving sideways here. So while we're doing that, price is above the T-line and the T-line is above the trend indicator. So right through here, I have to be bullish. Now, let's stop there for 1 second. Bullish does not mean buyable, okay? So just because I may be bullish here doesn't mean it's buyable. Now, this could be any chart. The ticker symbol could be IWM. It doesn't matter. It could be Amazon, AMZN. Just because we have what appears to be a bullish trend here now starting to work doesn't mean the chart is buyable, and that's something we have to learn to figure out. Well, is that a buyable chart? So just want to point that out there. Hey Bobby, hello Dumpling, how are you? So today I did buy a little bit of GM because GM is setting up. I still see this as a target. I returned from Disney this past Friday, and I was gone a week, and before that, this was my target on GM. And I bought some GM here today. This is something I've run across with traders, and I don't know how to get around it completely without going into the spiel each and every time. But if I look at this chart, if anybody says, well, I see a target up here, and immediately, which that was all back here, immediately, if we don't go to that target, some hurt feelings are made out there. And what you have to realize, that is not swing trading. That is not what we do. We have to accept that, okay, the alert may have alerted that we're going higher, and we may have established, well, there's the target up there. Price can wobble around an awful lot before it gets there. And that's something we just have to accept as traders. If this is what you're looking for, a pop and then just continue going up, well, boy, you're going to have a tough life at trading, really. So, please keep in mind that, if you're looking at a trade, it may not go to your target right away, and it may take a little bit of time. Take RBA as an example. So RBA gapped up. This is a great gap trade, and now we're putting in this bullish Hiromi here. And what I've got is a watch list. This is the scanner here, so just show you let me make sure it's on top. There you go. I'm not cherry picking anything. I'll just use what pops up here or on another scanner window. We'll talk about them. So I look at this, and I talked about this. If you watched my video this morning, I talked about what I'm about to show you now. Before I do it, I just remembered. Let me ask everybody here. I sent out a text to your smartphone about today. If you received the text, would you type yes? And if you did not, would you type no? Just curious. Yes, yeah. Okay. Yes. No, Ames, no. Okay. All right. Well, cool then. Thank you. I was wondering if it actually worked. Overall, it looked like it worked. For those that type no, I'll try to get an email out to you. You have to. Texting is kind of funny. It has a lot of government finger in it, and a lot of rules one has to follow. So you've got to accept it. But overall, all right, cool. Thank you, everyone. I'll see what I can do about fixing those no's, or at least give you the opportunity to say no, that you don't want a text, okay? All right, so let's take a look at this. A lot of times people want to know what a target is up here. And I've always been a little bit, targets, I don't know, I have a tough time with them. And what I have a tough time with is let's take a look at the weekly chart on this, all right? So we're about to see what looks like to be a breakout. So I'm gonna put a target on this. We'll do something like this right here, okay? So I'm gonna take this low, I'm gonna go to this high, and we'll come over here. Something like that, all right? So here's some targets for you. Whoops. There's a couple of targets for you. Now I'm gonna get rid of this thing. There we go. So a couple of targets. The problem that I have with targets is sometimes traders will look at those and think, well, I'm safe. There's a target. I'm going to hold this stock. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to hold it until it gets there. And that might be a mistake, because price actually might do something like this, where, we gapped up Friday, we pulled back, and then today we're coming back in. And you certainly might get another move up here, and you may get another one. And you don't take any profits off the table because you have a couple of targets. And then what happens is maybe you gap up a little bit, and then by the end of the day, it pulls back. And so that's kind of I think, a mistake. I think one should take profits into strength on the way up, because that does happen. And what makes that target so special? Now, I'm not a huge Fibonacci user, And yes, there are times when price will go right to a Fibonacci line, but there are times that it won't. And it may come close, but it doesn't. And if you miss that, if you're waiting on that line, that could be a problem because you never get a chance to take those profits till the profits have actually dropped down lower or even gone lower yet. So something to keep in mind here. What I would like to do is suggest something crazy, just harebrained, okay? Absolutely harebrained. And let's just delete this and let's delete that. What if we didn't put a target up there? Now, we're going to put a target, but you'll see what I mean. What if we just simply said from, and I'm going to use the bottom of basically these two candles right here. And what if we went up here and just said a 10% move? You see that right there? 10% move. What if we just said that? Why would we need a target? I mean, we're in that target zone area where I had those lines anyway. So now what we want to do is follow price and take some money off the table as we move up. Now, being that this is a $75, $80 stock, more than likely it would be an option trade. So just where I've got this right in here, I can bring this down. How can I do this? Let's get back down to our 10%. There we go. All right, so you got to remember with an option at 10% for the stock, this is just the stock, the option is going to be 25, 30% is what it's going to be. So as price starts moving up, you could take money off the table and make 8, 9, 10% and still have a position left. That's something to think about. Also, where is it written that we have got to just do this? And this is where people get in trouble. You know, you get that target on there. If that doesn't happen, we freak out. Well, maybe we do that, and then we do something like that, and now all of a sudden that trade is cooked. That trade is finished. No, it's not. It's not. Please, this is all moving down, and it's the same. I can't change a chart without deleting those. But if you look at this chart, just going from this low to this low, or this low to that high, look how the chart went up and down, up and down, up and down. Well, that means that this would do the same thing. So let's say that's our move today. Say we're up tomorrow, and let's give us one more move up, and then we're down, right? That's just the normal movement in a chart. That's still the target area, but this is the normal movement of a chart. And that's something to remember, okay? Let's take a look at Boyle. Boyle's coming up. Look at Boyle. So this is a rounded bottom breakout. Rounded bottom breakout, for those that don't know, it's when let me get my little pen out here. I feel more important with my little pen. It's where the 50 period moving average is below the 200 period moving average. And what we're looking for is a minimum of 10%. This clearly covers it. And then what I like to see is let's change color here, is the trend indicator, the green dots, above the 50 period moving average, which it is. And then, of course, the T-line above the trend indicator, and then price above the T-line. Well, that gives me the start of a nice little trend right there. You can go back, which I think is very healthy for somebody to do, very, very healthy, is to go back and take a look at how we got there. So there's some bottoming action right in here. Here's I do that a little high, so let's get rid of that. I'm going to take it from right here just so I have a point to put my marker down. If you take a look at that, and I'm going to draw that all the way over, that would be the construction zone, and it looks like we're breaking out of that construction zone right now. So take a look at Boyle. Now, this is a pretty good chart right in here. We've got also with the price action, we've got the 3/8 trap. We've got Fig Newton chart pattern setting up right now. This won't be confirmed till late in the day to make sure today's candle closes bullish, very similar to what it is now, or even better. It might close better yet. So does that make sense? You don't have any questions at all? And please feel free to ask questions. Absolutely, as we go. So anyway, that's some things that I look for. Here lately, we've been doing some things with the cloud. And here, I'll share that with you as well. Let's find HT. Yeah, we've been doing things with the cloud. Let me switch charts. And here is the cloud chart that I use right in here. And this is a cloud setup. I think this one is too. Let me check it to be sure. It is one, a little different, but it is one. So let's see here. South Bay is asking, how far out would you look to buy options on Boyle? Oh, that's a simple question, South Bay. Good question, simple answer. So what I'm going to do is always look for, I'll go, 40 days maybe as a low plus. I prefer maybe 50 days plus. When I say plus could be 50, 60, 70, or even 80. And it doesn't matter. That's what I'm going to do. Now, that does not, and by the way, that was a really good question, because here's one thing that some people kind of go, oh, just because you go 50 days out doesn't mean you have to hold the stock 50 days. You don't, or hold the trade 50 days. You don't have to. You could hold the trade 10 days. All right. So, but I'm going to start with that because I don't want to box myself into too short term of a corner. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. I hope that answered your question. Okay. Blue dots on the chart. Yeah, okay. We'll talk about that. I'll come back to that 1 second. Okay. Let's see here. All right, let's talk about that. Let's see, that's not over here. Well, let's just go back over here. So what the blue dots on the trend indicator is, it means that you're at the beginning of bullish momentum or below momentum. You don't. I think if anyone here has been here for a while, you've heard me talk about the turn on a chart. So here we pop up, we come back, we're at the turn. The turn could be down or it could be up. And in the past, it was just green and red, nothing in between. What the blue does is, if you look right here, it signifies chop or the turn. An area that I don't want to be honest. I don't want to be there. So that's all that's doing. It's another little helping hand to show you some caution right through here. Whether it's moving down or whether it's moving up is what it is, okay? That's what that is. All right, anyway, I want to go back here. So the cloud, let's look at PBI. And see, we're above the cloud. So in this scan, what it is we've got some cloud things going on. Be glad to show you. everything is pretty normal. The lag line versus a moving average. So on this one, I've got it set up so the lag line is greater than the 8 exponential moving average. But probably one of the things that this is relatively new, by the way. And then right here is also new, much newer, and this is something I asked Ed to put on there, where the span A is greater than span B. So what it's doing is putting charts quite bullish based on the cloud. Now, what we're still going to do is wait for that setup. We're still going to look for that setup right here. Like PBI here. That's a pretty good looking chart. Here we've got this pop to the upside, nice big gap up. You can see we're above the cloud. You can see that, I don't know what, I forget what these are called sometimes. I'm not a cloud connoisseur. That's the lagging span. There it is. And I'll make it very clear to everybody, I'm not ever going to be a cloud connoisseur. I'm not going to be somebody that just dives into the cloud and every tiny little thing about it, because I'm all about simply looking at a chart, and all I've got to do is have a couple of things work my way, and I'm happy. I'm only showing you this cloud chart because I have it here and I can explain a little bit more what we have in the scan. If I wanted to simply look at this chart, that's all I need to do, because the scanner is set up to give me everything that I want it to give me. AR, you know what? I'm going to go back. What was that? PBI. Yeah, I'm going to flag that. I kind of like that one. So take AR. There we go. AR. That is meeting all my any kind of a cloud setup that I want. Now, doesn't matter whether I'm looking at something with the cloud in the background, or doesn't matter whether I'm looking for a chart that's just trending. When it comes down to when I'm going to buy it, what I'm going to be looking for is the setup. And take this, whatever this is, AR. This meets all my criteria up until we get to, is it a buy? And no, that's not a buy for me. So I'm going to wait for this to become a buy. But if you looked at that cloud chart, it meets all the conditions. Now, I don't buy just because it's above the cloud. I don't think anybody actually does. I think they look at the chart. When they go to buy, they look for whatever they want to actually push the button. But they may want everything kind of working right in here. And that's what we've got working in the background. Take RSI. Look how that's, you can see it's above the cloud. The lag line is up. And here we are setting up. So anyway, just another thing you can do with the scanner, and how you might scan for charts that fit your needs. Okay. So anyway, I don't want to bore you with all this stuff. If anyone has any questions about charts or anything, let's dive in. If anyone has some scanner questions, I'll try to answer those. If they're too deep, I may have to push those to off after the class. But simple ones I can get through. Okay. Alrighty. Has the coding been available yet? Coding for JC, I assume you mean for the dots. Yeah, we've gone over that in the Hit and Run Candlesticks room 3 or 4 times more than a week ago. Yeah, and I can do it again over there. I can't do it right here just because of time. All right. Anyone have any charts you want to take a peek at? Anything you want to, you might be interested in buying? Any questions about charting or anything at all. PFE, by the way, I think PFE might be getting close to a trade. A lot of people are already in it. I'm not in it. Please keep in mind that I just got back Friday, so I've been in all cash while I was in Disney World. And but it still looks like a good setup to me. It still looks like a good trade. Just haven't come up with the entry yet that I'm looking for. And you know, we might get that over the next day or two. What I'm going to do is, excuse me, about over this 28.30 would be awfully nice. And it may be there today. It alerted. In fact, I pointed out to members, because it was popping up on the scanner, that PFE alerted at $28.50. And just because alerted doesn't necessarily mean, you know, that somebody might not buy it. They might wait for something else. And I'm kind of waiting till the end of the day to see what happens here. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. John, let's see, JC is first. Maybe JC, I'll stop by and ask. All right. Johnny, my first day in HRC trial is access to live trading included. Live trading alerts? No. That's a separate, it's a separate program. That's these alert boxes. I have several of these. You can have several yourself. And what it is you can set up what kind of setups you like, or, you know, maybe if you like chasing bullish engulfs or morning stars or off of support or moving averages, you can set it up to do that. But no, it's not included. That's the short answer. Okay. Let's see, Joe. I sure thought there was another one in there. Maybe I missed it. Ames, let me get this real quick. Can we look at your scan again? That's the key. I don't understand the names, the criteria. In lieu of time, Ames, I don't want to go through everything in there. I only have so much time here, okay? And that will kill that time. I have no problem getting it to you. It just, like I say, if you're in one of the trading, well, maybe you're not in one of the trading rooms. That's more appropriate where I could take that time to get it to you, okay? Let's see, J. Leo, SLV. So the question is it still bullish or has it stalled? Well, I don't know where you're asking from. So I'm gonna guess. So you're asking there, all right? So we've gone from this low to this high to a higher low to up, and you're asking if it has stalled. No, it has not. Now, I'm saying that based on what I see right now at the moment, okay? Does that mean that by the end of the day, could we do this? In which case, stalled would be a mild word compared to it has gone bearish, okay? I don't know what you mean by stalled. I really don't. Is it resting? Yes. Is it in a bullish trend? Yes, it is. So I'm not truly understanding the fullness of the question, if that makes sense. All right. I actually think it's setting up bullishly right now and having a very nice rest after a very nice gap, which is perfectly normal. Okay. Let's see. All right. So unless anyone asks questions, I'm just going to take some off the scanner and we'll take a look. Ed is looking at target short. It could be. I would, at this moment, I would probably be a little more to the short side than long. I'm personally not going to take a short on this right now. And here, let's do this. Let's draw this line right here. You see how we've popped up? We're actually above that trend line. We clearly have a low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. And as long as we're above that trend line, I would have a problem shorting it. I would have the same problem being long as well. So right now, I would have to say the target needs to give us a little more information. I would say too, at the moment, I would probably lean maybe a tiny, tiny bit toward the short, but not enough to take the short. Hope that was helpful. Okay. Let's take a look at A and F. Look at A and F. Nice trend. Nice bullish. Inside day, 3-8 trap. See, this might be everything somebody might be looking for. South Bay is asking about Starbucks short. No, because there's no short signal here. And until that short signal shows up, no, not short for me. I'm actually looking at a target of right here. I put this up here this morning, and it's one of those charts that I'm looking at for another upside leg here up to the 50% area. Now it could, believe me, this chart is not a long chart, okay? But a little bit of a long little play right there might get us there. I'm not saying short because there's no signal short. Now I'm a person that uses price action, okay? So what I'm saying is I'm going to need to see that. I'm not going to guess just because we have a doji at the T line or at the top after, on the fourth day up. Yes, it's still in a downtrend line, but it doesn't mean it's a buy short. So it's not something I'm going to short right now. And like I said, I'm kind of waiting. It may pull back a little bit, but I'm kind of looking for the signal to maybe trade it up to about this area long off the bottom here. All right. Hey, JC, on Tesla, let's see here, Tesla. Whoops, Tesla. There we go. On Tesla, in this of putting in a tried and true. You're talking about a scanner setup, I believe, is what you're talking about, JC. That's not something I use. Tried and true, I think you're talking, that's the name of a scanner setup that's there. That's in the scanner. And again, it's not something I use, so I can't really say whether it is or not. All right. I know that it consists of a trend break, something like that, a trend break, if I remember right. And but past that, I'm afraid I can't speak on that because I just don't use that setup. I can't say for Tesla here, I don't believe it's a trade one way or another. I believe it seriously needs some more to give us more information. I'm not convinced the downtrend is quite finished, and I'm not really convinced that it's ready to go up yet, okay? It could be setting up to go higher, yes, and it could be setting up to fall down, all right? I don't want to, what we have to, I think what we have to do is check our gut and our wants, at the door. And I think it's important to follow the chart. So I look at the chart here, and for the life of me, I could not put together, and since you said up, let's talk about a bullish trade. For the life of me here, I could not I wouldn't put a bullish dime into this chart quite yet. Now, let's think about some things here, all right? So I'm going to go on a limb here. Something you're probably seeing is where we've come back to support. We're holding support. You're probably seeing something like an inverted head and shoulders. You're seeing something like we broke that downtrend line. We've rallied up and pulled back. That's all looking good. It really, really is. But I'm not sure it's a buy yet. Now, a couple of things that I'm going to want to see is, let me see those bulls step up. Because I've learned over the years that I don't have to be in right here to make money. I want that to happen. And I think there's plenty money to be made after that. Another thing that I want to consider is that we're right in the middle of some shark-infested chop zone right through here. And I would rather put my money in easier places. So I just don't know that we're at that easy place just yet. Just would like to see more bulls in there. So I hope that was helpful. But it is, you've got this low. We're going to have to go right up and make this high, higher low. We had a failed high, and we now have a lower low. So let's see what a 2-day chart, 3-day chart. Let's just go to a weekly. See, we need this thing to clear on the weekly a little bit. Another thing that I want is green dots. I don't buy blue dots. I don't like that. All right. Chop zone. Horrible. Maybe above 179. Yeah, maybe above that. All right. What else do we have up here? Take a look at Zim. Wow. So Zim is one of these charts where if you look at Zim and you say, well, I've missed that chart, you immediately move on to another chart. You're welcome, JC. If you immediately move on to another chart, you might be missing out. This is the kind of chart that I want flagged. See, I have it already flagged. The reason I have it flagged is because these scanner setups, I have it on a scanner. I have this and a lot of other charts on a scanner setup that is set up to alert me on like a PBO, pullback opportunity, or 3/8 trap, something like that. Just a pullback, okay? So this is the kind of chart that you want on your watch list. I know. In your dreams, it would be nice if you would have bought it here. Those will come. You will catch those. And I'm sure that's what most people in trading look for. And it really is, all right? It doesn't make you bad. It doesn't make you good. It doesn't make anything. But when you see a chart like that and you utter the words, man, I wish I would have bought it down here, just stop right there, put this on your watch list, and be patient. Be very, very patient. Let it pull back. It will. It will. And then it just might set up for another buy, okay? So I don't know why I have that. Oh, I do know why I have that line up there. There's the 500 period moving average right here, okay? So let's do this. Let's, I like to trade with a 50% retracement. So let's just take this top, which we would have to move that top a little bit if something changed. In other words, if it went higher, maybe we would have to move it up with that candle. But this is what we have, so let's live with what we have. This right here would be a 50% retracement. Now I would be perfectly happy with an entry, say in that area right there. Okay, so let's be patient. Let this pull back, right? Let it alert on the scanner. It will. It will. And now let's run back up to that 500 period moving average. So let's just assume we bought it about right there, and then we swung back up for 30%. How would you like that? So here we are up, we pull back, and then we swing up again. This means bulls like it. That means it's interesting. It's good. So we don't want to throw this out. We don't want to just say, oh, well, jeepers, I missed that trade, or I wish. Be patient. This is the chart you want. You want a chart that the bulls are interested in. So anyway, nice chart if you ask me. Let's take a look at real right here. Look at real setting up. Now remember, this is one set up with the cloud in mind, okay? So you've got the lag line is good. I forget everything that's built into it. It's not much. Just two things, I think, for the cloud. Above the cloud, and then one of the cloud lines, I can never remember. One of the cloud lines, maybe it's a baseline or something, above the moving average, the 8. And see, that meets all that qualification. Now I can come over here, because this is the chart I'm going to look at. I'm not going to look at a cloud chart. Now I can decide whether I want to buy this. So the background work is all done. Right there. We're above all that, aren't we? That's a positive. Now let's move over here. See this consolidation? That's a positive. That is excellent. Now let's come over here. Let's put red. See how the trend indicator is moving up? Look how price just doing a T-line run here. It kind of lost it right in there. Not by a lot, but now it's picking up again. Look at that. See the potential of it moving up? How sweet is that? Let's take a look at a weekly chart. Weekly chart. This is a nice chart. Huh. I'm going to flag that. See how a chart coming up on the scanner, you go through it, you do the work. This is a nice chart. Check out the weekly. It's a rounded bottom breakout. It's dancing with the dotted deuce up here right now. That's sweet. I love that. Man, up to the 200 there's no way. Is that seriously? Oh, this is a weekly chart. 93%. That's a lot. So let's come over here. Yeah, let's go back to that weekly. Let's find something that's a little more realistic. How about right here? Look at that. Right there. And then we're going to put another line in there. I'm going to come up to those two lows. So those are two targets that I see based on the weekly. How's that? So now let's do this. I'm going to use this little tool here and just kind of split the middle there. There we go. So this is, when's earnings? Oh, not till August. Cool. This is starting to look like a really nice chart. So what if we were just patient and waited for the entry? And by the way, an entry, if it broke out of this candle right here, about $40.40, that would alert me that we have a breakout. It would be a breakout of the highest high in the past 5 days. That's another thing that I like to look at. That's our trade. That's our playground, all right? Now, in that playground, there could be 3 trades. Buying it now would not be a problem. You know, buy now, that could be a trade. I'm going to do this a little different. There we go. That could be a trade right there. And who's going to throw rocks at 9%? So maybe it comes up and it pulls back a little bit. Well, what if it moved up again for another 9%? You see how that could be 3 trades, even 4 trades up to those levels? You know, one level right in here, here's the next level. Does that make sense? And all because we put it together right through here. Alrighty. Check out NVIDIA. NVIDIA is alerting on this. Remember, we've got the cloud in the background for those that follow the cloud. See how we've pulled back to a nice 3-8 trap right here. Earnings, a couple weeks, so watch that. But chart-wise, look at this. Beautiful trend up. We've gone, and here's something, here's something I like to see. So we go from the blue, we go from red to blue, okay? So I'm going to put that blue right there. And then we go green, all right? I can't make it best I can do. So we don't have a blue dot, but you can see how we've angled down and kind of crunching price with the red dot. It could very have easily gone blue again, which would not have been bad. I wouldn't have minded that one dot there. But see how we rallied up and pulled back? Now when we start to see another rally up, I think that is sweet. Because what we'll have here is a low, high, a pullback for a higher low, and then a move up. And that establishes or makes that trend right there even stronger when you can get price bouncing off the trend. Hope that made some sense right there. So see how we've turned red, green, basically up, pull back, hold. If it wanted to turn blue, 1 dot, 2 dots, I'm okay with that. But then we have to turn green again, and that would be the signal to start buying on this particular chart. And it's looking pretty good today. So I see FNGU popping up. That is, having FNGU on your side is always nice. That's always nice. We still need to get through this top to make it worthwhile to do anything in there. So anyway, sorry. Did I miss any questions or anything? JC, you put it still could be a horrible H until you put a ticker symbol in there. I'm afraid I have no idea what you're talking about. Every question should have a ticker symbol that we can relate to. Okay. Alrighty. Any questions? Otherwise, I'm going to start winding this down. Look at RMD here. RMD is looking really good. CRK. CRK is looking terrific, David. Look at that trend. So this would have been a good example. This is great looking. Well, I'm going to take it back, and then let's work it forward, and then we'll work it up, okay? This would have been a good example of it's a rounded bottom breakout, all right? And the target is going to be the 200 period moving average for 25%, right? So there's your rounded bottom breakout. You can have multiple trades within between your starting point and between your target point. So here's CRK up, and that would have been a clear take your profit zone, okay? Here's our pullback. This would have been another area to enter and to trade. That's another swing. Here's a pullback, and another swing would have been started about right here, up, right? Here we are. Oh, my mouse is messing up. Down. The next swing might be setting up where we are now to wherever, right? That would have been a great example of that. So let's do this. Let's come over here and let's think about where we might be going. So you can see here we're entering a little bit of a speed bump right through here. So we're likely to see a little bit of consolidation. And guess what? There we are. Well, the next line up, I think I'm going to have to put it about, wow. Oh, shoot. Shoot. A lot of chop right through here. That's what I'm looking at right there. Yeah, I'm going to go right there. I'll go right there. So that would be the next target to the upside that I would be looking for. Here's going to be, this one's much easier to do. And then let's come up here and fill the gap. All right. Now let's redo this box. Remember, that's our starting point. What if we looked at this chart from back here, mapped it out? See how now it's still a trade? Now, one choice, you could just buy it and you could still be in it. There's nothing wrong with that. Man, more power to you. You know, I wish I could be you. But this still has move to it. Man, my mouse is really goofing up. It still has move to it. All right? And it's the same moves that you had here. So anyway, nice chart there, David. I'm going to flag that. Thank you. Yeah, you know, Malcolm is saying another good thing is to turn price off. Yeah, Malcolm's right. Sometimes we get a little wound up over price. And just look at that chart. Get mad at it. If you miss that trade, get mad at it. Take price off. Wow, I need to be in that trade. Well, maybe you do. Now you can put price on to help with the entry. That's what price is for, entry and exit. Trader's attitude. Yeah. Let's see. Don is asking, Rick, do you tend to look for lower price stocks to trade? You know, Don, I used to. That's before I started trading options. I trade a lot of options now. Just simple, directional calls and puts. I don't get fancy. So now I can trade more expensive stocks. But it really doesn't matter. Now, I think there's a bit of an advantage with going with quality. Unfortunately, a lot of times quality comes with price. But I used to trade low price stocks like CRK. That would be a low price stock. It's still a good stock. You still trade the trade, okay? I hope that helped. And if you're somebody, and there's a lot of people where you have to, because of your account size or, you know, there could be other reasons, that you want to trade low price stocks. There's nothing wrong with that. What you do is you create a watch list of all low price stocks that meet some volume criteria. And then that's what your watch list would consist of. Okay. Let's see. Mike is looking at HIIN. Yeah, that's setting up for, let's see. Just popped over the 50. Yeah, that could be setting up for a rounded bottom breakout. What I like to see is the T-line and the trend indicator over that 50. That makes me feel a lot better. But yeah, that is headed that way. It looks like it right now. I would just want it to confirm. Confirm to me would be, like I say, the T-line and the trend indicator over the 50. So, at first glance, it would mean that if everything continued to get the T-line and trend indicator over the 50, that's what would have to happen. And if that happens, I'll eat my hat. All right. More than likely, what I see happening with this is maybe you get another day up and then it comes down and rests. Maybe it does this. Maybe even it pulls back a little bit more. Keep in mind that all price has to do is stay up here and the T-line and trend indicator will continue to climb. Okay? You don't need bullishness to get the T-line and trend indicator to climb. It just has to stay above the 50 to do that. So, great chart. A little early for me for that buying in there. A little early for me. Yeah. What else do we have here? Anything? Don, how far out do you like to trade your options? 40 days would be minimum-ish. I prefer 50, 60, 70, 80 days. Yeah. Please keep this in mind, all right? If I buy something, let me give you an example here. I'm in GM, okay? I bought July contracts on GM, which that's not turning out too good, is it? I bought July contracts. If GM was to tomorrow, I don't think it is today, but tomorrow, if it was to do this, say tomorrow, the next day, I would sell it. I don't have to wait till the end of, or wait till the July contracts, okay? So I'll keep that in mind. I run across that, people saying, well, you know, are thinking that they have to hold it 50 days if you buy 50 days out. No, you don't. So. Let's see. WBA. Yeah, WBA might be setting up pretty good. A little early for a buy for me personally, but it might be setting up pretty nice here. You know what? I'll take that back. We're going to look at a different time frame, and this just might be a buy. I look at this and I just can't help feeling that over 1850 would be a better place. A little confirmation. So yeah, I would have to look at over 1450 for a buy. Great candle today. Great little bottom cradle pattern right here. So 2 thumbs up so far. Let's move this to a 60-minute chart. And now this is in my world. So our trend indicator has gone green. Here we've popped up and pulled back. I can clearly put a stop in there, and there's a little bullish Hiromi that I could make my bullish argument with for an entry. So I could trade this on the 60-minute chart. I have a little heartburn with the daily chart right now, but the 60-minute, I could start out there. Yeah. So, yeah, that's looked pretty good. I think I'm going to flag that. Thank you. Earnings in June. Let's see, Billy. Whoops. Here we go. My stop. Well, you know, why do I like this chart? Here, let's pull a Malcolm here, what Malcolm said earlier. Let's take price off the table. Why do I like this chart? Because it's trending up. Because the T-line is above the trend indicator, because the trend indicator is green. So my stop is going to be when that changes. When that changes. And here, let's put the price back up now. There we go. So if we start to do this maybe. You know, if we start to come down, well, that's going to change that, isn't it? Because that's what I like about this chart. So right in there somewhere. Yeah, right in there. You're welcome, Billy. Very welcome. Very, very, very welcome, Billy. All right. Let's call it a day. I've got 58 minutes, 59 minutes into this video and this webinar. I want to thank everybody for being here. I absolutely appreciate it. Hey, watch your email. I will try to send an email out with the text registration for those that didn't get the text. Thank you for answering that question, by the way. And you just fill it out. It gives me approval to send you a text, and then you have to opt into that text. Okay, like I said, there's some rules with texting. You can't just send people a text. You get in trouble for that. Anyway, you guys all take care, all right? We'll see you next Monday, and if you're a Hit and Run Candlestick member, we'll see you over in the trading room. Thank you very, very, very much.